As we all know, Errol the True Spence Jr. has not been fighting for nearly 2 years. The last time he fought was against Terence Crawford, one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. But before the fight even happened, I always thought that Errol Spence could beat Terence Crawford, but I thought it was gonna be by like split decision, but he got beat up pretty bad. One of the most one-sided A-whoopings that I have ever seen in my whole life. And that fight was huge. The whole boxing world was talking about it, and they had a huge build-up. Everybody was kind of split. Half of the people were going for Errol Spence, and half of the other people were going for Terence Crawford. But before that fight even happened, I always made videos about stating that if Errol Spence actually smoked weed, and some people said that I was stupid and retarded and everything like that, when I used to be a pothead and I know how people act and look when they're high. I was even the first person to say smoking on bud. That shit came from me, but that's neither here or there. I always knew Errol Spence smoked because a pothead knows a pothead. Similar to real recognize real. You have to be a person that's real to recognize somebody that's real. Or, I mean, if you're a pothead, you'll recognize if someone's a pothead as well. So now it's been revealed that Mr. Everything Boxing actually got the scoop of what really happened before the Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. So what I was speculating actually happened because Errol Spence actually took an edible before the fight with Terence Crawford, which I think that was really retarded and stupid because this is really the biggest fight of your life and it was for undisputed, so that is pretty stupid. And the person that actually revealed this information is Derrick James. Now we all know Derrick James used to train Errol Spence for all throughout his whole career, but now Derrick James was trying to sue Errol Spence for money owed, which I really didn't think he owes Derrick James any money. I think he's trying to come up on some money, but he's the one that revealed this information. And I do remember I made a bunch of videos about this, and some of them were stating that I really thought Errol Spence was either bitten by something, that's why he looked so drowsy, or he actually smoked weed before the fight. And I always said this because when I used to box a long time ago, there was a group of fighters that actually used to smoke weed before they sparred. So I thought Errol Spence was doing the same thing, to tell you the truth, but that was only for sparring. They didn't actually go pro and smoke weed before a fight, so I thought that was kind of weird. The only thing that I could think of is that he was probably nervous. It was the biggest fight of his life, but to take an edible and to smoke weed is completely different. When you eat an edible, it goes into your body and it does not go away easily, and the high lasts forever and it slowly goes away. At least when you're high, when you actually spar when you're high, you the adrenaline rush kind of kills your buzz, but you're still kind of relaxed, but you're not really high anymore once you're in there getting hit. I'm not gonna lie, the group of fighters actually got me to smoke weed before I sparred, and I made sure I sparred with somebody I was really familiar with, so I could know if it actually worked. And it does change your perception in the ring. Well, to me at least it did, and to them as well, so I'm not the only one. So yeah, it did change my perception because I was more of a come forward fighter, throw a lot of punches. But Ricardo told me, man, this time you just started getting out the way and you were more of a counter puncher. You changed your whole style in one day. And I was like, yeah, did you do anything? I was like, nah. I didn't smoke like a whole blunt or a whole joint. You know, I smoked a little bit, maybe like 3 or 4 puffs, but I wasn't a pothead and it was enough to get me high. But yeah, the high went away in the first round when I was sparring Ricardo, and it didn't last very long. As soon as you start getting hit and the adrenaline rush kicks in, it kind of goes away, but I mean, you can still kind of feel relaxed. In my boxing gym where I used to go, there was a lot of cliques. Some pros will not even talk to you until you start sparring. So that's when I started sparring, because the pros weren't even talking to me. But as soon as I went to the gym, I started sparring that first week. I started on a Monday and I started sparring Friday because I wanted the pros to talk to me. But yeah, there's different people that do different type of stuff. Like the people that I knew were just potheads, but there was other people that used to drink shots before they sparred. And I even knew some pros that actually used to do harder drugs like meth and stuff like that to spar. But hey, guess what, guys? I ain't the biggest, I'm the baddest. And if you want to help out your boy, throw $1 at the super things. I gotta roll. Peace.